everyone, thanks for watching Access Hockey MI. Today we're talking about the NHL Prospects Tournament, which is our favorite thing to talk about and our favorite event of the year that we get to go to in Traverse City, Michigan. So today we're going to talk about what it is, the different format that's happening this year, why it's important, how it affects Detroit in particular. So keep on watching. I feel like that was one of those, like, we're going to, a day in our life, keep watching. That's not what it is. We're talking about hockey.
Get ready with me. So the NHL Prospects Tournament is not just Detroit. It's hosted by Detroit at the Center Ice Arena. Get your tickets. Link will be below.
Traverse City, Michigan.
Super cheap. Awesome hockey. Anyway.
You can also watch it online.
True story, but you should be there. But if you
can't, you can watch it online.
But still go. So it's the club's prospects and invitees. So not all of these guys have been drafted, and I think that's something I'd heard in the past too. A lot of people get that confused. Yeah. But there's also players that are invited from college circuits, other international leagues, local leagues. They're invited to participate and try vie for a spot with that NHL club or any NHL club, really, in order to get an invite to training camp and then make that NHL jump. So it's a huge opportunity to showcase not only their abilities against already drafted players, but the drafted players to fight alongside the invitees and kind of showcase what they've got that's different.
Yeah, and that also, of course, creates the competition between everybody because, as we've said before, as far as Detroit goes, everyone is going to be looked at with the same amount of scrutiny, even if you've been drafted.
That's a good way to put it, scrutiny.
So this year, there are only 5 teams. There's usually 8, so not included would be Chicago, Minnesota, and New York Islanders.
Rangers.
Rangers. Did you see my confident pointing too? The Rangers. My apologies. So involved would be the Columbus Blue Jackets, Toronto. I was going to say Marlies.
Maple Leafs.
Or
AHL.
Marlies are the AHL. I'm not crazy. Dallas Stars, Detroit Red Wings, St. Louis Blues. So they're going to be involved. And like Rachel said, it's not just the draftees. It's also people who they've just been watching throughout the year, maybe from college. So if you recognize the name Taro Hirose, who we've talked about, that was someone that was pulled from Michigan State University, involved in the prospect camp, and now has been signed to another contract with the Griffins Red Wings organization. So that's the format. So basically what used to be literally like 3 games a day.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4.
For 5 days. And that's amazing. So now it's on a 2-game-a-day schedule because there's less teams, but that's also pretty cool because you can... I mean, you have more time to be in Traverse City, I guess.
It gives us time to have the color get back into our lips because the arena's really cold.
The arena there is very cold, especially if you're in there for like 8 hours in a day. But also involved. So, of course, all these teams are there. That also means all their brass is there. There's so many scouts. There's scouts from everywhere. There's media from everywhere that's there to watch these guys in particular. And not only are they watching the people that they brought, they're also watching other teams. So that's why it's so important to, in every game, play your hardest because you could be looked at by Detroit even if you're with St. Louis at the time.
And that's the thing, too, is with the invitees, they're invited by one club, but like Janae said, other brass are also watching. It doesn't mean you're signed to that club or committed to that club. Yeah. You could get pulled by anybody. So it's a really good opportunity.
And we've seen people from other clubs be on our team the next year because they were impressed and they then were...
Yeah, it's just when Carolina was a part of it, that actually happened quite a bit. Carolina's invitees would end up, I think, with like St. Louis and New York the next year.
Yeah, we would be like, wait, wasn't that guy playing with the other?
I'm so confused. But it's a really good opportunity for them to obviously make a big impact and a huge jump in their career and to get picked out as an invitee to this tournament. There's a bunch of rookie tournaments going on this time of year anyway, but this is a big one just because of how many clubs are involved. But it's also important because it creates that live competition baseline. A lot of these kids have not played in months in a competition atmosphere.
It's so much different than just practices, and any scout will tell you that too. It's just different to get in a game setting, to get in a competitive setting. I think it's good as a team to have that competitive edge again, and of course that's what the whole year is. You're competing for the top prize, and there is a trophy awarded.
There is.
The Red Wings won the last time we played.
2019.
Not in the silly year.
This
didn't happen.
That was the year that Giovanni Smith got in a fight with some guy from
Was it? I feel like that
New York
happened.
Rangers.
I don't know. I think that was a different year.
Well,
we've gone a lot of years, basically.
We have a video.
So I'm not too sad that Minnesota's not going to be involved because Minnesota always gets under my skin.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Always. And now we have like 15 guys from our team on their team again.
Yeah.
So I don't
want to.
They wouldn't be with the prospects, but regardless, continue. I think I interrupted.
No, it's fine. But it just creates a baseline for these guys to see where they're at physically, mentally, as far as the rest of their competition, and also get the brass and the coaching staff to really assess them in what is a grueling tournament. 5 days of competitive play is really difficult, and these guys are still doing their workouts and they're still doing their practices.
They usually have like practice beforehand, of course, and then
workouts
they'll do
afterwards. You'll see a lot of the guys doing stretches in the hallway right after a game, so you're kind of walking around them. But the atmosphere, it really helps with the competition side of things, but also they can get the time to do what they've got to do without the pressure of thousands of fans. It's normally a packed house still.
But it's so much fun. That's the personal aspect of it. You really do feel like you're one of, a crowd of everybody is rooting for. I feel like they're all rooting for the Red Wings, but there's so many people there from other teams.
We've
as well.
saved seats for Chicago fans because that's
not
just the
supposed
kind
to tell
of
anybody
people
about
we
that.
are. No, we're good people, but we beat them that game though too. I think.
That's true. That's another thing though, because that's always a sought out game. Like that is always the game that is packed like crazy, and now Chicago's not involved. I feel like though people are ready to get back into things, so I feel like it's going to be a busy year, which is great. Yeah. So for the Detroit impact, I feel like it goes without saying. But the new draftees, we're still not sure. We have not seen any for sure rosters yet from any team. That usually comes out, I would say, like week before, days before.
Yeah. Sometimes it's been like 4 days before.
Because I feel like they don't even for sure know yet. But I'm hoping to see some of the newest draftees. That would be amazing. And I'm sure that would undoubtedly be amazing for the Brass if they could see, them play in that kind of a setting. So I'm really looking forward to seeing like Shai Buyum, of course. And then the first... Would Edvinsson be there?
Edvinsson, if he can get over. And
it's just we don't know.
Yeah. So it's hard because they also, some of them already have commitments.
Yeah, so colleges, and I know that sometimes that keeps guys from being able to be there. Yeah. And so I do think we'll see some goaltending, which I'm very excited about. So hopefully Kosa will be there. We're hoping to see some of the guys who have been in the system for a while. Then again, they might not be in the Prospects Tournament. They might instead be in the training camp.
Yeah, and that's the thing too with Detroit. This is something that has been really, really focused on the last few seasons, I'd say last 3 or 4, even when Kenny Holland was still in charge. Blashill and whoever is the GM currently, obviously it's Steve Yzerman, they work very closely with the coaching staff to format the training camp in such a way that it's going to really push these guys hard. So with this Prospects Tournament happening beforehand, they're already tired getting into this, but they want to see just how far they can push them. And not every draftee, not every invitee is going to get a spot in training camp. Not every kid that's drafted, even if he's amazing, is getting a training camp invite. So this is a really big deal for them and for us once that it moves into training camp to see what Steve is looking for and what players he thinks is ready to get pushed that hard.
Yeah, and who knows the holes that we have to fill yet before the season starts to see who on our team and other teams we might see in maybe the AHL, the NHL. Of course, there's still holes to be filled everywhere. That just happens, and I'm just so excited, as you can see. I mean, it's just a very exciting time. It's the only vacation we get in a year. So
yes.
We're always really excited.
That's our vacation.
We love it. It's great. But yeah, so that's basically a rundown of the Prospects Tournament. Again, there's 2 different things. So there's the Prospects Tournament, and then there's the training camp. There's no development camp this year. I don't think. That might also change.
Yeah, Steve mentioned doing one next season. It's just with the way things laid out, it just was too much.
Yeah, he was saying the timing of everything might not work out in best interest of the players. So that's also, they're all just trying to work around what's going to be best for the players who are going to be there.
I'm really hoping to see Chuchayev in the
Kirill Chuchayev.
Word is he's coming to GR, so how cool would it be to see him?
It's going to be a great season. It's going to be awesome to see all the new blood come in, and I'm very excited to see how the team goes
it's going to be a
that
direction. Team, I think
it's going to be great. It's going to be young. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be probably need some work, which is fine.
That's why they have us.
Yeah,
we're going to help them with that.
So much help. Anyways, that's basically a rundown of the Prospect Tournament. So let us know in the comments if you've ever gone, who you hope to see there. And again, you can always watch. I believe the Detroit Red Wings put it on their YouTube page.
And I believe we're streaming on Facebook too this year.
Yeah, so make sure you look at all that. Even if you can't go, you can still get to see a lot of guys that you haven't been able to see yet. And that's the important thing, to see where they are starting, to see where they can go, so you can see them from the start. And then when they get to the NHL, that's the fun part.
Well, the cool thing is, too, is like towards the end of this, like when the team is actually back in the playoffs, you can be like, yeah, I saw that kid.
Like, I remember when those 2 crazy ladies who talk too fast told me about this kid. That's us. We're the crazy ladies. Anyways, let us know in the comments if you're going to attend or if you want to attend or if you're like, oh, I'm all the way in California. I have terrible teens. That kind of stuff. We get it.
Poke, poke.
Yeah, let us know in the comments who you're excited to see, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.